I'd like to dedicate this one to all the fellas who've ever bought a sexy anime body pillow from Comic Con or Fan Expo. This joint's for you. Thank you guys. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another review for a movie called Companion 2025, directed by Drew Hancock, starring Sophie Thatcher, Jack Quaid, Megan Suri, Harvey Guillen, and Lukas Gage. A sort of what's the genre we're looking at here? Kind of comedy, romance, thriller kind of mashup. It's kind of a lot of different things, but also in like a really good way. And yeah, we're gonna be doing the review a little bit different today. Because of this film is so kind of plot heavy, and I feel like I can't do a review without getting into spoilers. So the first half of this review is gonna be the spoilers, or sorry, non-spoilers section. Second half we'll do a countdown and kind of separate it, and then it'll be spoilers to go ahead. So non-spoilers first. What I'll say is I feel like this is Terminator for the girly pops. This is Terminator for the girly pops. I won't get into it more than that until we get into spoilers, but yeah, Sophie Thatcher. This is the first time I've actually seen her in. I know that she's in the show called Yellow Jackets, the HBO show, or is it Showtime? But and I've heard she's great in that show. But this is my first time actually watching anything that she's actually been in. Honestly, really impressive. She definitely has a lot to do, but I think she does it really, really well. We see a lot of different ranges of emotion from her, starting off with this kind of like doughy-eyed, starry-eyed kind of gentle figure to a more like sitting up in your gaming chair like it's got serious type of vibe, like displaying also a lot of vulnerability, anger, sadness, disgust. She's just doing a lot and she's doing it really, really well. Definitely I think somebody that we have to kind of be looking out for. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't think she was going to be bad or anything like that, but she was just much better than I think even I had intended and had in mind. I really want to see more of her. I really did enjoy her like a lot, a lot. I'm excited to see more things she's gonna be in. I'm not really sure. And yeah, definitely want to talk about, guys. It's snowing. It's been snowing all day outside, and I think that was my gazebo that just broke. So yeah, whatever. Ignore that. Back to the review. I'd like to start a dialogue. I'd like to start a dialogue about the fact that is Jack Quaid like a really really good actor? And like granted, like I love Jack Quaid in The Boys. I think he's like fantastic as Huey. I think him and Karen Fukuhara's characters, Mimiko, are kind of the heart and soul of that show. And he's great. He's great. I think he's great. But I think in this I see a level of depth in his performance that I've really never seen from him before. It was honestly like shocking. It blew me away. And I think he's using other kind of techniques from like other things that I've seen him in, other things that he's been in, but none to this really degree. I mean, like there are certain parts of this film where you're just like watching him and you're just kind of like, like he just like just makes you shudder with the type of person like he becomes. You know, it's crazy. He's fantastic. I have nothing else to say. He's fantastic. Like he is just so good in the role that he's playing, and I'm really excited to see again more things from him as well. Rest of the cast is great. Megan Suri is great. Harvey Glenn is great. I definitely want to give a special shout out though to Lucas Gage. Lucas Gage, you got a fan in me. Again, he's having what I think is a lot to do in this film, but he's hitting just all the notes like just perfectly. Like, wow. I've only ever seen him in season 3 of You, which I feel like he doesn't really get as much play or much to do in this, but he's fantastic in this film. We're gonna get more into it in the spoiler section, but like he's really, really good. Yeah, I definitely want to talk about the director, Drew Hancock. Not familiar with any of this person's work, but this movie is really, really great at kind of switching between genres sort of seamlessly in a way that like I really love. This movie is definitely on the thriller side, but at the same time is really funny. But definitely has these romantic elements, and you see that in the kind of visual storytelling that is occurring in the film. But not at any point does it feel like things are kind of out of place or we're making kind of violent cuts and turns between these genres. It all kind of fits together. I mean, it's shot really well. It looks great. Like I like the way the shots are chosen. Like I will say, like this movie in general, like between the cast and the director, it's left a lot to be desired for me. Kind of sort of in the best way though, like not in a bad way at all. In the way that like I want to see more from everybody. I like these kind of films. I feel like we don't get as many as we. I shouldn't say that. I don't know, but this film kind of reminds me of like Bodies, 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 in that it kind of like usurps between genres in a way that doesn't feel like out of place or forced. And I just really like it. I want to see more from Drew Hancock. I want to see more from Sophie Thatcher. I want to see more from Jack Quaid. Definitely want to see more from Lucas Gage. Yeah, all in all, it's like a great movie. I think if you're just looking for a good time, it's a great time, and it's short. It's an hour 30, so just kind of like a great kind of just like popcorn movie. But honestly, even beyond that, it does have a lot of themes that are a lot heavier, and it does the themes really, really well. So impressive, all in all. If I had to give it a rating, I would definitely. I'm gonna go with a 4.1 out of 5. I think it's really solid. I think honestly this movie even has the potential to kind of grow on me with rewatches. But for now, I think a 4.1 is what I'm feeling. Genuinely solid movie. Genuinely solid movie. So, anyways, yeah, great, loved it. We're gonna get into spoilers now. So if you don't want to hear anything about the movie, um, get out of here, come back, and yeah, we'll talk about it. I'll count down. All right, spoilers. Josh, Jack's character, his descent into madness is it's almost inspirational. Like the way that he kind of just goes from this guy that's like he's kind of a shady character and like da 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 to like, oh, this guy's like, yo, this guy's like messed up, you know what I mean, this guy's messed up, to like, yo, this guy is awful, like awful human being, to like, there's a special place in hell. There's a special place in hell. It's crazy, like the way that he just starts off as just like this celebrity plan, everything's gonna go fine, and then by the end he's just like murdering random people left and right with absolutely no regard for life. It's just such a fast descent into madness that, like, I don't know, man. It was just like, I'm just watching it like, wow, whoa, this is really spiraling out of control really quickly. And like I said, hour 30 runtime. So like the pace of this movie is completely like breakneck, but in the best way. Yeah, crazy, crazy. That's sort of the other thing too. It's like, I don't know, this feels like the most elaborate murder plot of all time. Like, so my thing is this: did he get Iris with the intention of always having her like be a part of this murder plot to murder like Sergey and whatever whatnot? And because if you did, like, okay, fine, but then there's also like all these things, like it's like my friend Damien said, like jailbreaking your sex bot is a new low. Like, you have to jailbreak the bot to make to make Iris more violent, and then you gotta like set it up, and you gotta invite like Harvey and his boyfriend's character, Lucas Gage's character, to kind of bear witness to these things that are going on. And it's just like, it just feels like a very elaborate way to stage a murder plot for this man's fortune. And then the funniest thing about it at the end is that, it's kind of insinuated that this guy's like a bad dude, the one that they're stealing from, the one that they're murdering. And it turns out he's just like a rich guy. He's just kind of like he's like a dick, but he's just a rich dude. And it's just like, it's the most elaborate murder plot of all time, but in a way it's so funny and so befitting of Josh's character, who really sees himself as like this like super like clever kind of archetype guy, and he's just really not. And it just works so well for the story, because you're just like, this man is so stupid. Like, there's so many things that could go wrong and do go wrong. Then it's just not surprising at all at the end, where everything falls apart. Not even at the end, it starts to fall apart at the beginning. It's not surprising at all. And I think it's just hilarious. I just think it's so funny. Lucas Gage, you are the next Terminator. You are the next Terminator, man. I don't know if they're going to reboot the Terminator movies again. They probably are. But there's a sequence, obviously, when Lucas Gage like gets controlled and gets sex bot hacked by Josh, and turns into this murderous, like, cold-blooded killing machine, literally. And he's fantastic. Like, just like his eyes are no life, man. Like, no life. Like, he's just fantastic. Like, he's just fantastic. He's genuinely so scary and so concerning. And I don't know, man. Like, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's just the way that he kind of portrays this robot in the first stage, where it's kind of like, you can tell there's kind of sort of something inhuman about him, but he's programmed to be soft, gentle, loving, and you feel that in his performance. To like, when this humanity and aggression is turned completely off, and the switch that he makes, it's not easy stuff, but he does it in a way that I'm like, listen, if we ever get another Tornado movie, you got to make this guy I don't know, like the T-1000, 2000, 3000, whatever. Get him in the movie as one of the Terminators, because genuinely fantastic. That's all I could think about watching this, was that it had a sort of Terminator vibe to it. Not in the sense that it had anything thematically similar to Terminator or even like stylistically, but there is great action in this film, surprisingly. But in the way that it just does the coldness of robots, like in the way that the Terminator did so well, where it feels like you're in a slasher film. Honestly, it feels like you're in a slasher film at certain points of this, where it's like, holy smokes, man! Like, how do you stop this thing? Fantastic. And that's the thing, robots are scary, but men are scarier. I think the sign of a great piece of like feminist kind of media or literature is that, like, when you're a man and you like read it, watch it, whatever, you just like have deep shame about your entire race. It's just like, yeah, sometimes it is. We are like that sometimes, man. That's why I felt watching this. So that's how I knew it was really effective in what it was trying to accomplish. I mean, the messaging is clear, but it's also very effective. I initially kind of felt a way about a certain point in the film where I was just having a conversation with Josh at the dinner table and kind of says the thing about him that's kind of subtly been hinted at throughout the film. But after like having a discussion with another person, I realized that it's like, it's important for not only for it to be said out loud, but for her to say it to him, and the power that that kind of holds as well. And yeah, I mean, like, it's very clear. I love the idea though that, like, in this movie and Ex Machina, there's kind of a relationship between artificial intelligence, man, and woman, and the bridge between artificial intelligence and man being a woman, and what that represents in terms of gender roles and our relationship with technology. It's something that I feel like I probably want to make a video on later, but this movie does a really interesting job of kind of talking about it. Even though there is obviously Lucas Gage's character is also a robot, Iris's story and kind of her arc is, I think, very important for us to understand not only the gender themes, but also the themes about AI and artificial intelligence and humanity. It's really great stuff. I mean, like, but watching this movie, it's one of those things where it makes you think, in the sense that there are kind of films, movies, books, TV shows that are kind of sometimes, like, I would say, like 100 years into the future, which kind of shows us where things can kind of end up in a long way. But this movie feels like, in a lot of ways, 15 minutes, like, just around the corner. Where, like, I know we're probably not there at artificial intelligence being able to walk around and stuff, but in terms of the way that people use and rely on AI for connection, and severing that connection between other people and other human beings, instead favoring its connection with computers, I think we're 15 minutes away from that, unfortunately. And that's my kind of fear for us. I fear that we'll lose a lot of our humanity and empathy and understanding for one another because of this thing that's going to be sold to us as sort of the fix for our issues of loneliness and isolation. Love one another, man. I know it sounds corny, but, like, love one another. Seek connection out with other people that are real in your life. Don't just be on your phone all the time and that sort of thing. But I can't tell you guys what to do. But at the end of the day, yeah, I think the messaging in this movie is super, super great. Again, it might grow on me, but yeah, all in all, fantastic film, fantastic cast, fantastic performances. Really excited to hear and see more from everybody involved in this movie. But all in all, extremely solid. Go check it out. Support the theaters, as always. Yeah, so this has been the companion review. You know that I'm real. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if you guys have seen the movie. Try to put a spoiler blocker if you are going to say anything about the movie. If you haven't seen it, go there, man. Go ahead and see it. But thank you guys so much for tuning into another video. I really, really appreciate you guys. Take care, stay safe. I love y'all. Thank you. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with, I guess, like, buying or collecting like sexy anime body pillows, but I do think it's a slippery slope. But you know, that's neither here nor there. We're digressing.